Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, man. I want to start a new series. I want to start a series, What's in My Box? And what I want to try to teach or maybe for you to gain from this series is, you know, through the 20-something years of bass fishing, I'm all the time changing how I store my tackle, what I carry in my box, how many colors I carry of crankbaits, how I store my spinnerbaits, how I store my vibrating jigs, how I store my terminal box, how I store swim bait heads, my plastics. I want to just each month take a box out of the boat and show you what's in it. I think it'd be a cool series. You know, I'm all the time, I travel with Ott and Andy. I'm all the time looking in their boat, just seeing how they store stuff. You know, it's just natural for a fisherman to want to see how other people keep their tackle. And I want to start off with like the most important box in my boat, and like one that's brand new for me, one that I've always struggled with my terminal box. Like never before could I take my terminal box and go like that and then set it back down and all the hooks and the weights all be in the same place. Well, now I found a box that I can do it with. It is the most awesome terminal box I've ever had in my life. And at first I really didn't think I'd like it, but I can do that right there. It's upside down and everything's right where it needs to be. So it's really cool. So let's look in here. So up here on the top, you know, I've got my weights. I've got them labeled right across the top. And I kind of got it a little different. You would think, why do I have a quarter with a 3/4 in the same box? Well, the reason is if I had the quarter and let's say the 3/16 in there, they're so close in size, I couldn't tell the difference when I'm looking at them, you know, I just couldn't. So I put two obvious different sizes in there. And the cool thing about these boxes is they're soft inside. So when I close that, those weights aren't banging against each other, they're not banging around in the box, they're protected. But you know, I got quarter, 3/4 in this one. This one here I got 3/8 and half, and when I open it, you can obviously tell which one's 3/8, which one's half. Then here in this last box, you know, this stuff's for big punching. I got ounce, ounce and a half, and 2 ounce in that box. Don't need a lot of those, you know, you can see I just got a couple of each. That's, if I'm down in Florida and I know I'm punching a 2 ounce all day, I'll grab a couple more and just stick them in one of these open hatches here. You know, so then right here I've got my 1/8 and my 3/16. I don't have those in a rubber box because they're so small, and I probably would go through more of those than anything else, but I've got those just labeled right there on the outside. Then you'll see I've got my drop shot weights. I've got 3/8, I've got quarter, I got 3/16 and 1/8 and 1/16 right there. Those are not actually in a box. That's the only thing I don't have a box in there. I've got my little peggets right here. I've got some other like, you know, longer, these are like Bass Pro drop shot weights right here that I use. Just kind of some odd, you know, odd and end stuff right here. You know, you can see I've got my straight shank flipping hooks right here. I got 3/0, I carry 3/0 and I carry 4/0. I carry EWG style hooks right here. I've got 2 different sizes in there. It's not a hook I use a lot, you know, on a jerk shad or something like that, but I've got 4 and 5/0 EWG hooks there. I've got some other EWG hooks and straight shank hooks, just kind of a hodgepodge of them in there, because again, it's not a hook I use a lot. Got my Carolina rig weights right there. I've got my swivels right there and a little knot protector brass deal that I carry. Another deal I get at Bass Pro, just you can see it's got a big end on one end and a small end on the other. So what that's designed for is when you're Carolina rigging, your knot's up in that hole and it's not hitting that swivel. So it's just a little brass ticker that I carry with me, so when I'm Carolina rigging. And what's so cool is, though, each one of these is in another box with a lid closed. So when I close this, everything stays inside because there's a lid on top of it. Going down to the next row, I've got my nose hook Fusion drop shot hooks right in here. You know, I carry like I don't know what size that is. It says down in there, but it's a 1/0. That's what I carry. That's just all I need. Just a 1/0 Fusion hook for nose, you know, when you're nose drop shotting. Then like when I'm Texas rig drop shotting, I've got some different Gamakatsu and Owner, you know, Texas rig drop shot hooks down through here. I've got some Wacky worm hooks right here. You can see I just kind of got some different ones in there. I like these ones. It's got this monofilament weed guard on them. I just kind of keep those in that box right there. But again, that's not something I use a whole lot, but I've got them in there if I ever need them. Again, I got some other wacky worm hooks without a weed guard, just a little straight shank hook right there. Some more for drop shot and just a heavier, like when I'm Texas drop shotting, like a heavier duty drop shot hook, but still light wire. Right in here, I've got some little collars. So like if you are wacky worm rigging, you know, you can put your general, through there, and you can hook that, and it'll keep your general a lot longer. So you know, especially in practice. Here I've just got some nail weights, you know, to put in the end of a general, like if I'm Nico rigging. Again, those are those little 16th ounce Bass Pro, you know, tungsten drop shot weights. I carry a bunch of those. Looks like I got the next size bigger Fusion drop shot hook in that one. Again, I got those peggets, you know, if I ever need to peg a worm weight. And then down here, just got some more drop shot weights. So guys, that's my terminal box. You know, just to recap a couple things about it, you know, that's a little bit kind of neat. Why I also like it, I can see through this thing. It's got a clear top. So like when I go to pick this thing up and look in there, I know exactly what I got, what I'm out of, what I need. I can see it immediately, which is, I think, really, really cool. You know, they say it's a kind of cool deal too, because you can open that box one-handed. You know, that's cool. I don't know how big a deal that is, but I can open it one-handed. It all happens, you know, one-handed. I think that's the coolest part, that they're all right there where I left them. Nothing is mixed up. Nothing's out of place. I just think that's cool, because it's a catastrophe when your terminal box, you spill it. Like, it just is, we've all had it happen, and you look in your front compartment and you got hooks and weights and everything everywhere. I don't think it's gonna happen with this box, so I'm pretty excited about it. I can see here it's got a gasket too around it. Hopefully I don't ever have to figure out if that thing works or not. But that's my terminal box. I really like how I've got it stored. Like, I think this is gonna be like, till they come out with something better, this is the best I've found, and it's always been my Achilles heel on how to store my terminal stuff. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, leave me a comment. Tell me how you do yours. I'd be curious. I could learn something from you possibly. Maybe you figured out something better than this, but I really like this because I have all my Texas rig stuff, all my drop shot rig stuff, all my Carolina rig stuff, all my wacky worm stuff, all in one box, where before I had those divided up in different boxes. So I like it that I could get a lot more boxes all in one. You know, really condense things for me. Anytime I can condense something, it's gonna really help me with storage too. But leave me a comment too on what the boxes you want me to pull out in the next few months. You know, we'll just pull a different box out of the boat. You know, plastics and spinner baits and vibrating jigs and crankbaits, and you can see the colors, and we'll talk about that. You know, we'll talk about why I carry certain colors, why I carry certain weights, more of one, less of the other. I think it's kind of interesting. It's just stuff that I'm always evolving on it, and you probably are too if you're a tackle junkie like I am. But that's my terminal box, guys. Leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next week.